Fixed joints are held together by a tough fibre that permits no movement. These joints also have no joint cavity. An example of a fixed joint is in the cranium because it can't be moved, which allows it to protect the brain. An example of a fixed joint used in sport is football because you header the ball with your head. Right, slightly movable joint. Slightly movable joints allow very limited movement. The cushion of cartilage stops the bones from rubbing together. An example of a slightly movable joint is the joint between two vertebrae, and a small amount of movement is permitted. An example is when a footballer is taking a throw-in during the backwards phase. Show when he leans back. Yeah, like that. Alright. Hinge. The hinge joint allows movement similar to a hinge. It allows flexion and extension movements. Examples of a hinge joint are the elbow, knee and wrist joints. An example of when the hinge joint is used in sport is when a player kicks a ball, they use their knee joint which flexes and then extends. Okay. Ball and socket. The ball and socket joint allow the greatest range of movement. It allows flexion, extension, rotation, abduction, adduction and circumduction. Examples of ball and socket joints are the hip and shoulder. An example of when the ball and socket joint is used in sport is during football when the participant is taking a throw-in because the shoulder is rotating. Alright, pivot. The pivot joint allows rotation of one bone around another. Pivot joints are found in humans in the neck, forearms, knees and other parts of the skeletal system that are able to rotate. The pivot joint is in the neck allows the head to move side to side. Example of a pivot joint used in sport is when you're stretching and you turn your head side to side when checking your shoulder for other players. Alright. Okay, saddle. This joint allows movement in one plane and one axis. The bones in a saddle joint can rock back and forth and from side to side, but they have limited rotation. The thumb is an example of a saddle joint. Example of a saddle joint used in sport is also when performing a throw-in during football. Right. Gliding. The gliding joint allows one bone to slide over another. These occur between the surfaces of two flat bones that are held together by ligaments. Some of the bones in your wrists and ankles move by gliding against each other. Examples are the vertebrae and joints between the carpals and tarsals, which are used during football when running with the ball.
At full speed.
And sometimes at full speeds. Condyloids. The condyloid joint allows movement in two planes and can produce flexion, extension, abduction and adduction movements. Examples of a condyle joint are your wrists. Example of a condyle joint used in sport could be again a throw-in during a football game. Alright.